Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I'm a travel advisor with Marvelous Mouse Travels. And if you have been hanging around my YouTube channel or my Facebook and Instagram accounts for any length of time, you know that we are here tonight to reveal the champion of our Marvelous Madness tournament. Our tournament has been all about the best Disney World table service restaurant. And we came down to our final matchup, which was between California Grill at Disney's Contemporary Resort and Crystal Palace, which is in Magic Kingdom. And so to help me reveal our winner is my husband, Evan, who's been joining me on all of our live streams as we've been throughout this tournament. So Evan, how do you feel being at the end of this year's Marvelous Madness?
Well, kind of sad because this was really fun.
No, we enjoy doing this every year.
64 restaurants. We started with 64 restaurants. Here,
Yep.
I'll share my screen so we can see the actual bracket here. So here's the whole bracket. Like, this has been a lot of fun.
It has.
A lot of excellent restaurants.
Yes.
Just to refresh everybody's memory, Ginger ranked these in order of what she felt like should be the rank order. And so she has not been voting because essentially her vote was she got to rank all of them. Mm-hmm. I've been voting. And I've had a lot of fun doing it. And so tonight we reveal the winner who you and me, but I'm just one vote. Y'all, all of y'all are definitely carrying us here. But who you have voted the best table service restaurant in all of Disney World. And buddy, it was super, super close.
It was. In fact, it flip-flopped a lot. Even within just a matter of a few hours. We had one that was in the lead for a long time, and then at the 11th hour, there was a flip, and there's a little bit of a surprise when we check this final number. So, I guess without further ado, shall we reveal it?
Let's do it. Let's do this thing.
All right.
All right. So we'll zoom into the championship matchup here. We had California Grill, Contemporary Resort, top of the Contemporary Resort, going up against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is right off Main Street, USA in Magic Kingdom. It's a character meal. Mm-hmm. You got Winnie the Pooh. Yep. Piglet, Eeyore, and Tigger.
Yep.
And ladies and gentlemen, the best table service restaurant as voted on by you in all of Walt Disney World was Crystal Palace. You all voted for Crystal Palace. The wonderful thing about Tigger's is Tigger for a wonderful thing. Okay. I mean, like y'all said Tigger's got to carry this, him and Winnie the Pooh. It was extremely close, 55% to 45%. I mean, literally it's like at the bottom of the ninth, they come back here. I mean, as time expired, it swarmed back and won.
It did.
Nicole Scott, welcome Nicole. We're glad you're with us. She's pumped up. She was like, yes, Crystal Palace. That's what I'm talking about. Katie, welcome, Katie. Good to have you with us. She said, that's amazing.
Yep.
I personally was very surprised that Crystal Palace won.
I was too. Now, I love both of these restaurants, but they are very different experiences. And I was fully expecting California Grill to come out on top. And like we said, in the voting for the longest time, it was leading the whole time. And then at the very end, just a matter of a few votes coming through, flipped it to Crystal Palace. And so, you know, I love Crystal Palace as well. In terms of the food quality, I don't think that Crystal Palace necessarily has better food than California Grill, but it does have more options than California Grill does. And of course, it has characters, whereas California Grill does not. And so, you know, neither restaurant is on the less expensive end of the Disney food spectrum. So they both are, you know, a little bit pricier options. I guess maybe people might feel like, okay, well, if I'm going to pay that, I want there to be characters there. Valid point. And I totally understand that.
Yeah, good point. I hadn't thought about that.
For sure. And I think that, you know, people just love the Winnie the Pooh characters. And this is one of very few places at Disney World that you can meet those characters, particularly all together. And so I think there's a lot of reasons to love this one.
And I will give them credit. Uh, the people who walk around, I don't know what they're called. I mean, they're cast members, but the people who walk around with the characters and kind of like time them at each spot to make sure that, they don't stay too long and they keep going.
Mm-hmm.
They are very generous with their time.
They are. They are. They really do take their time with you. There are some character meals where I have felt very rushed. I've never felt rushed at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I mean, we literally watched Winnie the Pooh stay with this little kid for like 5 minutes one time. Just a long time, and probably longer than that actually. But just interacting with him. I mean, it was like a magical moment for that little kid to have Winnie the Pooh there. Winter, welcome. Good to have you, Winter. Good to have you with us. So I mean, that was really cool to have, to get to see that with that moment with that kid, because I mean, kudos to Winnie the Pooh in that moment. He was bringing his A game, and he made that kid's whole trip just absolutely magical based on that one experience. Winter is happy that Crystal Palace won. She said she loves Crystal Palace. Absolutely. It's a great place.
It is.
Absolutely.
And I've shared this before, but I'll share it again. My number one tip for Crystal Palace is to try to book a reservation at about 10:30 or 10:45 a.m. And if you do that, you get to experience both the breakfast and the lunch buffet, because they'll probably be switching it over around 11. So.
And for the folks who just joined us, because we had a few folks hop on with us just then, they might be like, wow, seeing this bracket going, wait, Crystal Palace won. It did. Just barely. It just barely won.
And at the last minute.
Yep, like Ginger was saying, this was extremely close.
It was.
And California Grill was winning essentially the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
And then, no joke, at the very last minute, Crystal Palace stormed back and literally flipped, because it was 55-45 in favor of California Grill, and then it flipped it in the 11th hour there. It was so. Congratulations to Crystal Palace and Winnie the Pooh.
That's right.
Megan said, "Wow, absolutely, welcome, Megan. Good to have you with us." Katie said, "Yum, love Crystal Palace." Absolutely, Katie, welcome. Glad you're with us too. And Megan said, "That's crazy close." It was.
It is.
When we sat down to update the bracket, 10 minutes ago, like
something like that. Yeah. It had just changed. Yeah.
Yeah. Ginger, she said California Grill won. Let me go back and check,
how much it was. Yeah.
Because the last time she had checked, California Grill was winning.
Mm-hmm.
And literally right before we went on air, we checked again, and Crystal Palace had won at the very, very last minute. So super, super close. But I mean, what that tells me is you can't go wrong with either one of these places.
You can't.
I mean, all the people who view this and have voted, these are the places that you voted for to get them this far.
Yeah.
And the championship matchup was literally neck and neck the whole time until we went live. So that tells me that either one of these places is a home run.
That's right. In fact, I would even say that about this Final Four. I think that all four of these are great restaurants, really awesome experiences. There's some great ones even that lost a little bit earlier on. Ohana was knocked out, I think, in the Elite Eight. And Ohana is one of the most popular restaurants at Disney World. So once you get, to the Elite Eight, Final Four, championship, there's really not a bad choice in the bunch, in my opinion. And as we saw throughout this whole, thing that we've been doing, we've seen that some of the best dining at Disney World is at the resorts, but at the end of the day, it was a park restaurant and a character meal that came out on top, even though which
seems very appropriate, especially in Magic Kingdom.
It does. I mean, that's the first park, the iconic park. So I guess it makes sense in a way that it would be there.
6 of the Elite Eight were resort restaurants.
They were. Yeah.
And Crystal Palace was like, oh yeah, well, watch this.
Yeah.
And
come all the way back.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And if, you don't want the Marvelous Madness to end and you're like, oh, I can't wait till next year. Well, let me tell you, you're in luck. Over on our agency's main channel, we just started a similar tournament a couple of days ago. That one is specific to the resort restaurants, so not the parks. So Crystal Palace would not be part of that tournament. But we just revealed the Sweet 16 over on the Marvelous Mouse Travels main agency YouTube channel earlier, and we will be voting on our Sweet 16 for that starting tomorrow. So if you are not subscribed to Marvelous Mouse Travels on YouTube, and if you're not following Marvelous Mouse Travels on Facebook or Instagram and you want to participate in that tournament, go over and make sure you follow the agency's main accounts so that you can do this again. And Evan and I will be continuing to reveal those matchups for the next week or so as we progress through that tournament. Oh, thank you so much, Katie. We love doing this. We look forward to it every year. We literally end one and we start talking about the next one, like what we want to do. So I'm sure as soon as we hop off of here tonight, we'll start planning what we're going to do for next March. But we love it too. We really enjoy interacting with people and seeing, what people choose. It's one of my favorite, I guess, social media events that I do on my channel all year. So you guys are what makes it fun, just your interaction with it and the fun that you have with it. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's the best part of the whole thing, is getting to interact with you all and hearing why you vote the way you do and which restaurants you wanted to win and that kind of stuff. That's the best part.
It is. Well, thank you all so much for, again, just your participation through the whole thing. We really have had a lot of fun with it. Can't wait to see I can't either, Megan. I have a couple ideas. I have not narrowed it down yet, but I have a couple ideas of what we might do for next year.
I have one for 2026.
Oh, look at you, way ahead.
Yeah.
What's that? Does it have something to do with Epic Universe, I would assume?
Bingo. We've done like best rides before, but there's a whole new lineup that's about to be happening at Universal. And so,
yes.
That might be for 2026.
Yes. Universal is opening a new park summer of 2025. I have a feeling we might find out specifically when real soon. So keep your eyes open for that. Evan, you're planning he is a planner, Megan. Like he's Mr. Game Plan. I'm not that way at all when it comes to my personal life. Now, vacation, I know exactly what we're doing every day, but with like day-to-day life, I'm very much a free spirit, and Evan's the planner between the two of us. So yeah, he probably knows what we're doing in 2038, I don't know.
I do. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he does. He probably does. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We really have had a blast with this and look forward to doing it again next year.
What we should have had? We've really missed an opportunity here. You know what we should have had?
What's that?
You know how at the end of the Super Bowl every year they ask like the MVP of the game, like, you just won the Super Bowl. What are you doing now? I'm going to Disneyland, or I'm going to Disney World, or something like that.
Yeah.
We should have had Winnie the Pooh holding up a sign that says, I'm going to Disney World.
Well,
and
would you settle for a golden doodle? Because there's one asleep right here on the floor next to me.
That would have been amazing. We could have said, Winnie the Pooh, your restaurant just won the best table service restaurant in Disney World. What are you going to do? And then he holds up a sign that says, I'm going to Disney World. That would have been amazing.
That would have been perfect.
Next year, guys, it would have happened. It's going to happen next year.
Yeah. We'll plan better.
We'll plan ahead and get that.
That's right. Yes. Well, again, thank you all so much. This has been a ton of fun. Be sure to keep it going over on the main Marvelous Mouse Travels agency page with us for the next couple weeks for that tournament. But thank you. Hope you all have a great night, and we will see you around real soon, hopefully later this week, for some exciting announcements about Universal.
Have a great evening, everybody.